Hi everybody and big welcome to cEDH TV gameplay. So I'm back playing Atreus and his father Kratos. I basically played this deck 3 games and I've lost both turn 2. And in one occasion I didn't even get to have a turn 2. So I hope that the game will go a little bit longer this time. This is basically the wandering in the command zone with some yes guy Underworld Breach concept. So there's some cool ideas here with like having the Kratos boost things like Esper Sentinel and the Polyglot Prodigy or Walking Ballista, or just have a bunch of untap effects on your commander. Well, we will see. Hopefully we survive a little bit longer.
So let's try this. It's Pontus's choice. So if anyone thinks this deck is something negative, blame him.
Like Mons, I didn't have a chance to play much of Tamiyo last time we played, so yeah, I'm going to try this one again. It is a Planeswalker essentially in the command zone. We have Simic. Again, it was a surprise later on, but yeah, I'm excited to give this a go again.
Today I'm trying the Grixis Green Goblin / Norman Osborn board. It's just your normal Grixis shenanigans with some additional discard shenanigans. Things like cracking LED to cast your commander is really OP because then you can cast all the stuff from your graveyard with Green Goblin. So there's some tricks here that I think is actually really interesting that I want to try. So let's see if they work out for us. So this is our first 7 and it's surprisingly spicy because it really shows how OP LED is in this deck. What we can do with this hand is we could go turn 1 land Impulsive, turn 2 land, draw the LED, play LED, crack LED. That is a total of 5 mana. Our commander costs 4, so we cast Green Goblin, float the blue, discard our hand, and then we can cast Breakthrough for 1 blue and X is 2 if we want to. I would probably do it just because. And draw 4 new cards and discard them. And if it's like mana or anything, it's like actually powerful. So it's actually really interesting how good LED is in this deck. The question though is that actually worth it to do? And I think I lean towards no. It's a great content hand because I show the thing, but I'm not sure it's a winning plan. We do have 2 additional top decks in this scenario, and there are like worlds where we like draw things that makes that plan even better. I think it's kind of unlikely for it to be that way. Like if you draw talismans or stuff, it's like actually really good for turn 2. You know what? We're keeping this hand to limit test. I don't think it's the correct keep, but I think it's interesting enough to do. And it's a really unique play pattern that I really want to experiment with. So let's just keep it. I think it's incorrect, but it's a cool line that actually does show the upsides of the commander. So that's interesting.
Well, that's one piece of the combo, but nothing to really get stuff moving. Yeah, I think we're just gonna let this go. Same deal, but less reliable. It's just rhythm doesn't do much for us other than get a dork with this kind of hand. We'll go to 6. A Mystic Study with a Passeggio and an Emergence Zone. That's rough to look at. Taro is pretty good, but no white source. Looks like we're just going to 5. It's not getting much better here. Yeah, looks like we're going to 4. Can't really cast the Wandering Arcade pace that I like anyway. And again, no white source. This mulligan has been something. I guess we're just keeping mana and then we're just a spectator of this game. Hope we get a way to get the Wandering Arcade out early. Keep the 2 lands. We're not keeping Gemstone because why would we? We have a Fierce early, hopefully into an Arcade. That's all I can really see. Yeah, just atrocious mana availability for the lands that were available in the mulligan. It happens, but we'll keep this.
This is a turn 2 boy with Mox Diamond, and we have the untapped land that untaps the One Ring or the commander in this case. It's a little bit too many lands if I'm gonna be honest. Yeskas will turn 3, cast commander, gain experience counter. I mean, this hand does what this commander is intended to do. 4 lands and a Mox Diamond means we're gonna have all the mana we need for a while. I'm gonna keep this. I wanna play this commander. I wanna do what the commander is here to do. Yeskas will gonna help us do some value on turn 3 with getting commander into play as well. And we have a mental misstep for protection. Turn 2 commander, turn 3 attack with the boy, get an experience counter on turn 3, and on turn 4, yeah, this is why you mulligan. I'm keeping it still, staying strong in the last seating order.
I'll start us off by drawing a card. Land for turn will be a command tower. I'll tap it and cast the Imperial Seal.
I have a response. Pontus, your life matters. We want to save it and preserve it. So I'm gonna use Mental Misstep and sacrifice some of my life so you don't lose some of yours.
Oh no, but like now I feel like you're left out. So I'll do it too. I'll misstep your misstep, so we're both at 38. I don't want you to be left out, Mons, okay?
That was very kind of you, actually.
Okay, with that shenanigans over, my misstep will resolve, and then mine still will resolve. I'll search my library and put this card on top of my library, lose 2 life, and pass turn.
Rhetoric pays 3 life to make Sink into Stupor come into play as a land. Then he plays Commander and pass.
I'll draw for turn. Yeah, I'll play a Mystery Reinforced. I'll crack it. I'll get a Savannah and cast Yoshimaru. And I will pass.
Draw a card. I'm gonna play a Flooded Strand. I'm gonna sacrifice. I'm going to put a Tundra into play. Cast a Mox Diamond, pitching this Arid Mesa. I'm actually going to cast a Walking Ballista. Just X equals 1, putting a counter on it, and then passing the turn.
Go to my turn. Land for turn, be a Badlands. I'll then cast a Lionside Diamond. Tap 2, crack LED for 3 blue. Discarding Breakthrough, Force Negation, Otavara, and Jumps and Caverns. And then cast my Commander, 1 blue floating. Then I'll spend my 1 blue and cast a Breakthrough. This card is funny because, well, for one, it costs 2 less because of my Commander. So I will actually pay X is 2. Sadly, it doesn't actually say you may choose up to X cards. I have to choose X cards, so I can be unlucky with drawing too well, but I'm assuming I won't, so I will keep 2 cards if this resolves. But I will draw 4 cards, choose up 2 cards, and then discard the rest. So Breakthrough resolves. I'll draw 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are pretty mediocre. I will be discarding City of Traitors and Simian Spirit Guide, and then pass my turn.
Rhetoric attacks with Tamiyo, creating a clue.
I will block with my face.
He then casts Brainstorm, drawing 3 cards, flipping his commander into a Planeswalker, upticking it by +2, giving all creatures that attack him or Planeswalkers he controls -1 to their attack. He also plays a Mana Confluence and a Lotus Petal.
Untap, draw for turn. I'll play a Mana Confluence, losing 1. I don't know if this is good against you, Pontus, but here's the grand. But everyone has such cheap commanders. This does not buff Yoshimaru, so I don't have any good attacks, so I will just pass after that.
This is not annoying at all. I'm gonna play the School. I guess we're gonna build up a Walking Ballista eventually and kill the Draenite. I pass the turn regardless.
Go to my turn, but that's nothing I want to do right now, so just passing.
Rhetoric plays a Prismatic Vista and a Careful Study for 1 blue mana, letting him draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards, and also upticking his Planeswalker by 1, giving the defense again. The cards he discards are Hedge Maze and Dramatic Reversal.
Untap, upkeep, draw 2, cast Thrasios. I'll lose 1 ETB, put a counter on Doggy. And I'll move to combat. I'll hit Tamiyo for 1. I'll pass.
I will draw a card. Wait, that actually helps a tiny bit. Here's a Mox Opal. It's Metalcraft. Then I'm gonna play a Mountain as a land drop. And be aware, Snuske, I'm coming for you. I am going to buff it by 1 and smack at Tamiyo for 1. Pass turn.
I'll tap 2 to cast a Taint Pact. Taint Pact resolves. We're basically just looking for anything that would make us have a plan. So let's see what we can find. We have Into Floodmaw, Felwar Stone, Cheska's Will. Would be nice if we had the mana and there wasn't Dranith. Foul Fortune doesn't really do anything. Snap, Dranith isn't our issue. Grimmonolith, the One Ring. We have no way to get there. Rainforests, D-Grid, Red Blasts, Chain of Vapor, Windfall. We don't have Windfall mana. Mana Confluence, Necro. Do we have a land on top? No, I'm not gonna gamble, but we'll see if it would have paid off. Reveal next card, Brain Freeze. That's not the land. Faithless Looting, Putrid Imp, Blood Crypt, Swan Song, Mystical Tutor, Bergy, something Spiderpunk, Wheel. Still no lands. There might be one here. There wasn't. Valley Flood Caller, Into Sewers, Consult, MBT, Promox, Besiege, Mana Vault, Blue Delta, Steam Vents, Oracle. We're starting to get into a really awkward position here. Our Breach and the Brain Freeze. So our Breach line is heavily nerfed. We do have Breakthrough and LED in Graveyard, which makes Breach even better. But as I said, we don't have a way to deal with Dranith currently. So since we don't have a way to deal with Dranith, being able to win post NOS is really unlikely. Or not unlikely, but really hard. So we're kind of stuck in between things here. Getting rid of Thousand Circle makes it even harder because now we don't have any like hard win con. We're basically stuck with exactly Praetor's Grasp, I think. Praetor's Grasp is not exiled, so Praetor's Grasp is still alive. It might be hard to hit Praetor's Grasp plus mana to like fire NOS, fire Praetor's Grasp, fire the removal, and then still have a win con. But I don't think we can stop on a Thousand Circle because our hand is no plan at all. So I think we always need to continue here. The next card is a Born Upon the Wind, Fierce, Force, Wish, Claw, Mystic Remora. Let's just stop at the Mystic Remora. This is going out of control, so let's just chill. Then we will go to my turn. Land turn, we have Flooded Strand. Cast this here, Mystic Remora.
No.
Okay, Mystic Remora is countered. And I pass.
No, attack the Tamiyo!
I'm not gonna attack the Tamiyo if you punish me for trying to exist, Snuska.
I only did this because you didn't attack last time.
Okay, then I guess we spite play each other.
Yes!
But yes, you're correct, I will attack the Tamiyo. Thank you.
You just forgot in light of my awesome play.
Alright, end of your turn. I'm gonna pay a life after this move. Draw a card.
Then, to put some salt into Pontus' wounds, Rhetoric casts a Mystic Remora.
You better face this as well, Snuska.
Untap. In my upkeep, the reason I didn't want the Mystic Remora around, I want to cast this Enlightened Tutor. Yeah, Rhetoric draws a card with fish. Tutor good. I'll put a Mystic Remora on top. Oh, this was my plan all along. Draw this for turn, and I'll pay one, cast a Mystic Remora. You may once again draw for your Mystic Remora. I'll move to combat. I'll swing at Tamiyo for one. I will pass.
I'm gonna put this Aurora as a land drop into play. I want my commander so much. I came to this game for my commander. I'm here to commander. I wanna cast Jeska's Will. I'm not paying for any Remoras. You can both draw a card. I want mana here. Lots of mana. Draw cards for mana. To reduce the amount of mana I'm going to get, Rhetoric cast Mystical Tutor finds a face-out card he can use to protect Tamiyo if anyone attacks at her, and gives a card draw to Snuska's Mystic Remora. So with my magical 8 mana, I'm going to buff my Walking Ballista once. With 4 more remaining, I should have exactly enough to cast this guy, except that I first also need to pew 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 3 pings on the Dranite Magistrate.
Oh well, it had a good run.
Then we're casting the Sun, the Impulsive Sun, and with the remaining mana, we're casting Kratos. Now we don't have haste, so we've done everything we can, and from here we're passing the turn.
Go to my turn. Poggers. Land turn is martial arts, but having more mana doesn't really help our hand right now, so we still just pass. Not attacking this time, because I want to spite Snuska.
Okay, I'll attack.
Rhetoric, on his turn, doesn't pay for the fish and plays Tabernacle at the Pinnacle Vale as a land drop.
It's a very Mons card.
I love that card. I should play it in every deck I have. Then he discards counterbalance to hand size and pass the turn.
Well, Tamiyo's your problem now, Mons. I hope you can deal with it.
Oh, I can. I can.
He does have a way to phase out Tamiyo, but I'll pay for fish and Thrasios here. And doggy dies. I'll lose 1 to my mana conflicts. And I will draw for turn, playing Minamo and pass.
I'm going to untap everything that I have and pay for both. Yeah, using that one. No, using that one. Paying for both of my commanders, then drawing a card. I'm going to combat with Kratos at Tamiyo. He is a 4/4 and becomes a 3/4 because of Tamiyo cool protection effects.
No blocks.
And I also get an experience counter. Drawing 1 card is not that big. We're actually going to instead cast a Ragavan Nimble Pilferer and then pass the turn. End step trigger, we are going to buff the... Yeah, we're buffing the Ragavan.
No, I don't see my commander helping much, so he can die. Then I'll draw that card, and I'll pay 2 life for shocking the water grave. Then I'd like to fetch, finding Ungun Sea with my martial arts, and then fetching my Flooded Strand, finding Volcanic Island, and then tap 5 to cast this NOS, not paying for more.
So yeah, I'll Flusterstorm.
Yeah, you can draw. I don't have a response to Flusterstorm, and then I guess I will just cry? No, pass, then cry.
Go to my turn.
After looking through his interactive hand, Rhetoric upticks his Tamiyo and passes the turn.
2 triggers Do I want to pay all 3? Sure. Pay 3 to keep my stuff around. Losing 1. Draw 4 turn. Play a Verdant Catacombs. Pass.
Go to my turn, untap everything I have, and protect my army. Draw a card. Let's play this volcanic island. We're gonna need more mana for our army. So I'm going to send my Kratos at Tamiyo, and I'm gonna send my monkey at Snuske. And I'm gonna keep this guy behind, and I'm gonna gain an experience counter. To protect her Tamiyo Planeswalker, Rhetoric caused ripples of potential to make her face out.
Take 3. And you get a Nature's Chosen. Good luck reading this card.
So I am definitely going to cast that, Nature's Chosen.
Fish trigger.
You can draw a card, my friend, you've deserved it. And I'm gonna put it onto my commander. So what this does is that I can untap my commander. I don't see a need for tapping him and activating him now, and I don't have the mana to activate him for now, so it's a later future effect, but for now I am actually going to pass the turn to Pontus. And I am going to buff my Kratos by giving him 2 counters.
Go to my turn. We have kind of an upside with me sacking my commander, which is why I did it. So that we can cast the other side and hopefully filter through our deck a little bit. So I will cast him by actually paying the commander cost tax as well on the other side. Not good side. But then we pass turn.
Before Rhetoric draws a card, he casts Noxus Revival to put Flusterstorm on top of his deck, drawing that for turn. Then he exiles Eldritch Evolution to cast Endurance to shuffle Pontus' graveyard onto the bottom of his library.
No response, I guess. Sure.
It looks strange, but then he casts Rad Storm that has Storm and Proliferate, so by casting Endurance, he increases the amount of loyalty counters Tamiyo is going to get, potentially letting him ulti her now.
I'll cast Mindbreak Trap, targeting all copies of Rad Storm.
Okay, that's it. Go ahead.
On your end step, I will fetch. Yeah, I'll grab a Tundra. Untap. Fish can go now. And Thrasios we should probably keep around. What does this turn look like? Maybe Thrasios needs to die. Because I can't attack Tamiyo anyway. Or I can, but it won't deal damage. Yeah, I'll let Thrasios go. I'll play a Tropical Island. And I'll tap 1, 2, 3... Tap 4 for a Smothering Tithe.
I'm gonna respond by drawing 2 cards because I have 2 experience counters before we get an enormous amount of treasures. So 1, 2, and then I have no further effects to your Smothering Tithe.
Pass the turn, 7 cards in hand.
So I untapped and 1, 2, 3, paying for all my free creatures and then drawing a card for turn.
Trigger.
I'm gonna need this mana, so you can have a Tithe trigger, you can have a treasure.
Nice.
Combat first, we need to get rid of that Tamiyo up there. So Kratos is swinging at Tamiyo, and oh, he can actually untap. So Atreus is swinging at Tamiyo too, and Ragavan is swinging at you, Snuske. Attack trigger, I gain an experience counter.
I'll take 3, and you get Starting Town.
And I get a treasure. I'm going to shock into play a Steam Vent. I'm now going to activate Nature's Lore and untap him. I'm going to my end step and I'm going to buff my... Time is going very low. We're gonna buff Ragavan by 3 and making this monkey really huge. I'm starting to really like this deck. Pass turn.
Take my turn. Upkeep I will pay for my commander, and then I'll draw. I will pay for Snuske's treasures, and this is really funny. But we will go to combat. Attack Mons for 1 unblockable.
I take 1.
Trigger.
Take 1, sack my treasure to flash in a Fairy Mastermind.
Then my Canai will happen. I will draw a card. Discard a card. I will be discarding a Lotus Petal. Will not pay for the treasure. And I'll get a counter on my normal Osborn. I'll pay 2 to cast a Arcane Signet. And then pass.
Rhetoric plays a Misty Rainforest as a land drop. With it, he finds a tropical island. He then casts an Eternal Witness and returns Mystical Tutor back to his hand.
Tabernacle, I'll pay for the Mastermind. Draw a card. Play a Gemstone. Land for turn. Pay 1, 2, 3. And I'll cast a Mockingbird for X equals 2. I would like an Eternal Witness. I want my Mystic Remora back. Pay 1 blue. Cast Mystic Remora. I'll swing technically 1 at Tamiyo. And I will pass.
In your end step, we are going to activate my commander to draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. and I am going to pay for 1 Smoldering Tide, and you get to draw a card with your Fairy Mastermind.
2 treasures and draw a card.
Then we're gonna pay 1, 2, 3 for all of our amazing creatures and draw a card for the turn. You can have a treasure. I wanna go to combat, and I'm going to be swinging with my son, the son at Tamiyo, father at Snuske, and Ragavan at Snuske as well. And again, experience. Eternal Witness blocks to protect Tamiyo.
Block with Ewit on the monkey, and then I will use 2 of my treasures to snap Kratos.
I'm going to cast a deflecting swat, and I'm not paying for Mystic Remora. You can draw a card. So I'm going to make you bounce your Fair Mastermind instead, and you can still untap the 2 lands.
Sure. Mastermind goes back. Ewit dies to monkey.
I'm casting my own Smothering Tide. You can draw a card with your fish. I'm then going to untap my commander, and I want to go to the end step, and I want to buff my Kratos with 4 counters, making him into a 10-10. Go for it.
I'll move to my turn. I'll pay for my commander. I will draw and not pay any other taxes, so people get treasures. I will then move immediately to combat, and once again hit Mons, but this time for 2.
I take 2.
Trigger Connive on normal. I will draw a card. In response. Again?
In response, Fairy Mastermind. Deja vu.
Oh, yeah. Then I'll draw. Resolve my thing before I probably pay for both dice. I will be discarding this Mox Opal. Trigger 2 tides, and I'll pay for both of them because my game plan is going great. I'll also get the counter. And then it looks kind of pathetic next to Mons' one, but I'll cast a monkey of my own and then pass.
I make a treasure when you draw a card with Fairy Mastermind. In the end step, Rhetoric casts Mystical Tutor. He casts a Walking Ballista with 1+1/+1 counter on it. Then he passes turn.
I will pay for both, and I will move to draw step. I'll pay 2 for a Voice of Victory.
I don't like that I'm giving you treasures, but it feels like I really should activate him now by sacrificing 2 treasures, drawing 5 cards. You're probably gonna get 5 treasures, dealing 2 damage to all of you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those were some really good card draw, but I don't have anything that stops your Voice of Victory. I have to pass on this actually.
I pass.
Are you paying me for any of my tithe trigger?
You know, I'm actually paying for 1 tide trigger just to do something good here. So yet 4.
And then I draw for Fairy Mastermind. Draw a good card, and activate Fairy Mastermind. To have each player draw a card.
In response to Snuske activating Fairy Mastermind, Rhetoric pops his Walking Ballista to deal 1 damage to the Fairy Rogue. But Snuske responds with a swift reconfiguration, making the Fairy into a vehicle, and it can no longer take damage.
There's a Smothering Tide over on Monster's side of the field too, and because I'm the active player and he is not, he gets the treasures first and gets essentially 3 treasures every time, and can then use 2 of them to pay for mine, making this 2 mana draw card. Not that as ideal. So I'll just make the 1 treasure this time from Pontus. And then you'll make 3 every, so you'll just technically make 1 treasure as well every time, Mons.
Yes, correct. I'm just making 1, paying for yours all the time.
Okay, so we're at a point where I can say pay 2, draw a card. Everyone draw a card, and then I'll draw an additional 2 from Pontus and Rhetoric drawing their second card for turn. So I'll spend my treasures and 2, losing a life, and I'll cast a Peregrine Drake. ETB on tab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, we won't untap the Mana Confluence for now. And then I'll tap 2 and bestow Springheart Nantuko on the Peregrine Drake. This is getting really complicated and weird. So landfall, make a Peregrine Drake, basically. And then I'll play my land for turn, which is Emergence Zone. This will trigger Springheart Nantuko. I'll float 1, 2, 3. So I'll float a blue, a white, and a green. And then I'll make a copy of Peregrine Drake and untap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lands. And then I'll pay 1, 2, 3, 4 and cast Sowing Myco Spawn. If I cast this, I can search my library for a land card and put it onto the battlefield and shuffle. I'll go get a Gaia's Cradle, put that into play, which will make another Peregrine Drake float 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green and untap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we have mana. Now what do we do with all this mana? I'll spend the white floating, cast Taru, which will enter, and I will have Pontus draw a card along with myself, of course.
It is a May.
Oh yeah, you can choose. You can choose not to. That makes sense.
Yeah, I won't.
Missed that part. That's fine though, because I drew a better card. I'll cast a Training Grounds. So now I have infinite draw. So the way this works now, because of Training Grounds, the activation cost for Fairy Mastermind is down to 1 and 1 blue. We established that Mons can always pay for my Smothering Tithe, leaving me with just 2 treasures per activation of Fairy Mastermind, which means that with Training Grounds in play, I technically am able to draw my deck without netting any mana. But Fairy Mastermind is not a creature, but it does have a crew cost of 5. So I will simply crew with Sowing Myco Spawn and one of my copies of Peregrine Drake. That way, it is now a creature. Now that we've found a quote-unquote infinite loop, because of a lot of weird interactions and stuff on the table, I will draw cards until I find a Finale of Devastation. I do believe I have less cards in my deck than my opponents, so drawing them out is not an option. I'll find Finale, cast some creatures from my hand, and cast Finale for an absurd amount after having untapped Cradle a bunch of times with a Boral Breezecaller in my hand and Terevi, and maybe Felidar Guardian once as well, because why not? And then swing for the game.
So this game was definitely, in my opinion, the MVP Draenei Magistrate. It took forever for me to establish my card drawing machine, and look literally how it was getting somewhere, but it took too much time to get rid of that Draenei Magistrate. So I think that was the pure MVP of this match.
Yes, I drew that on my first turn. It was not part of my first 4. I got some very lucky draws in the early game, like the Granite Magistrate, and then I drew just the 1 extra land I needed to keep my stuff around after I Enlightened Tutored for a fish with 2 mana. After Pontus lost his fish, stuff just came together for me to get resources online to finally get stuff going, because I was really struggling on mana for a while until the Tithe came in, basically. Until then, the Tabernacle kind of had me taxed too. The Mulligan to 4 was rough, but the Draenei definitely got me there.
I had the Protected Nos, I had the Pact, but Fluster beats Pact. Then Rhetoric aggressively casts his Endurance. The turn after, I drew a Breach. I feel like the game just didn't want me to win.
So the play that Rhetoric did that made the Mindbreak Trap a possibility was also the play that stopped you from winning.
Yep.
That's some second level, like mind reading there.
Yeah.
Nice one. I hope you enjoyed this long, grindy battle match. Take care, guys. See you next time.